What up? What up? What up? It's shit talking Sundays, but you already know that shit. Uh, sometimes I think this is kind of cool that I get to actually say a word that pertains to caca and actually make it positive. And right now, we're gonna educate y'all on some multiple sclerosis. We're gonna teach you words you should use and you shouldn't use when you're dealing with somebody with MS. Because I will call a mother father a MSer in a heartbeat. Uh, but she's gonna give us the proper ways to call you an MSer. So, without further ado, it's Shit Talking Sundays in the Light of a Warrior with the MS Warrior. What's cracking?
Hey, AG. Hey, I missed everybody last week. Like, oh my God. I just felt like, oh my God, I need to talk. I need to share this. I need to share that. So, yeah, I missed you, AG, last week. Hope
Yep.
everything that you needed to do was done and everything. So, yes. So, good evening, everybody. So, I don't know if you want to start with your disclaimer. You want to roll just right. Let me do it.
You can just do it, and I'll just put it right up on the screen. This is not legal
Okay.
medical advice. It's just her journey with multiple sclerosis. So if you need medical advice, consult your physician and maybe mention some of the things that you heard here. If you're having a medical emergency, dial 911 because we can't help you from here. Um, I don't think you even really need to do your disclaimer because I'm letting everybody know she is not a medical doctor. She's just one person dealing with MS and sharing her journey with YOU. Do you think?
Yes. Thank you. So you heard that disclaimer. I am not a doctor, nor will I portray to be. Um, yes, anything that I say tonight on the podcast, any medical, that's for me, for yours truly, and that's why my medical team is. So, but I would like to say, if you feel that you were in an emergency, please don't hesitate. 911. Never look for someone else's advice when you are in an emergency, because you just may need medical attention ASAP. Okay. So, guys, I missed you last week. All this week, I'm like, man, oh, nope, I didn't share this. Oh, man, you guys have become part of my life. Boy, I tell you, I actually missed it. I felt like something was missing all week. Like, dang, I didn't get to get on and show you guys my beautiful face. But anyhow, evening, Steph. I'm glad you made it this evening. So, guys, um, for me, because I read and research and things come across my mind, like, and it makes my brain tick. Like, yeah, you know what? If that happened to me, how would I relate? Or because I'm sure some of you warriors have come across situations, um, maybe in a grocery store, even at home or at work, you know, um, and it's kind of like two sides to the coin because, and let me say this first. I'm gonna get it off my chest because it bothered me then and it bothers me now even to think about this. I had someone, and I'm not going to say any names, but I had someone that even before I was diagnosed, let me give my, hey, there I am. I was in the dark, wasn't I? Like, is my camera, my thing going out? But anyhow, um, you guys, if you guys lose me, my screen gets dark, just say, hey, we can't see you. But, you know, I felt, and this topic tonight is just perfect. I'm glad I ran across this because this is real life shit, right? I can say that, right? Your baby's not on here, right? No, we all grown. Um, that before I was diagnosed, this person seen me kind of like, I wouldn't say on a serious regular level, no occasion, but enough. They would see me and tell me, "Oh, you look sick." Straight out the gate. Or we'll be talking a few minutes and they would say, "Oh, you look sick. Do you feel good?" And at that point, I wasn't sick with MS. I wasn't diagnosed. Um, so I took that like offended. And sometimes I would be like, "No, I feel fine. Why? Oh, I look sick." And I didn't want to be too offensive back, because when something happens like that to you, you think like, why would you even say that? Especially, that person, right? This person knew me well enough, you would think, but then I was thinking, okay, are you fucking, oops, sorry. But we're all grown, right? Maybe nobody's kids are watching. Puka butt. I hope you're not watching because grandma's cussing tonight. No, but um I was offended by that. And that made me think like, okay, are you, why would you say that to me? And I could say the same thing back to you, but if I looked at you and thought, "Oh, she doesn't look put together today," I'm not going to come straight out and say, "Oh, you look sick." If you're my friend, you would know if I was sick or not, right, Steph? And let's just speak on me and you, because me and your friends. Stephanie knows when I'm sick. Okay. So she wouldn't have to say, by looking at me, then saying, "Oh, you look sick." Friends don't do that to each other, right, you guys? And so that this prompted me, well, my readings during the week prompted me because that was reality for me, even before my sickness. And so it's real life about things. Now, how would you feel, or how would you want to be talked to, just in on a general sense? You could maybe just have a cold or the flu, and you run into someone in the grocery store, and someone say, "Oh, you don't look like you feel too good," without hearing you cough, sneeze, or anything like that. How do you take that? Would you be offended? What if you go outside and you don't have no makeup on or nothing, and someone says, "Oh, you do look like you don't feel too well." "Oh, am I pale? Is it wintertime and I'm pale?" Or, how do you know really on how to address, like they say, never judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things, and I think it's just in general, and it's not so much, not even just for us warriors. AG, this goes for you too. You're not stricken with multiple sclerosis, but you may have other ailments that, if someone's seen you and not knowing that you have diabetes, and someone say, "Oh, you look like you've had too much sugar today. Do you not feel well?" Something like that. How do you take that? Do you, especially people not knowing, not to judge a book by its cover? I've learned that, and I think I mentioned this, and we talked about this before in a previous show, AG, if you remember, because I said, you know, before I got sick, I used to look at people, and I'm being true to you guys. And I'm not really so much proud to say this was my thought process years ago before I fell ill. But I sometimes would wonder, people get out their car parked in the handicap,
Mhm.
and they don't have a cane, a scooter, or anything like that. And I'd be like, why are they parked there? They aren't limping,
Mhm.
or in the store in a scooter, then get up and walk and da 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 da. I used to think, okay, are they just being lazy and not wanting to? And I'm going to keep it real, and I don't mean to offend anybody tonight on our show. Some of the people were heavy set, and I would think like, okay, well, they just can't walk, or not knowing their true story. Okay. it happened to me, and I talked about this on our one of my earlier podcasts with AG, and it happened to me in the store. I was on a scooter, and the young man worked for the stores in the grocery store, and I was getting some produce. I rolled up, he was working produce, and I rolled up and I stood up out of off the, store scooter, and he turned and looked at me. I was right next to him, and he said, "Oh, yeah, I get tired too and wanna ride one of those and not wanna walk." And I looked at him, and I was thinking I told him, "No, I'm not tired. I have multiple sclerosis, so I can't walk the grocery store." And he looked and was like, "What?" So that was my opportunity, and I did a quick one-on-one MS because if people don't know your story, of course, a lot of people
Mhm.
judge your book by your cover. Hair, makeup, and everything done, or just even walking. If I get out of my car and I walk into the grocery store, the movie theater, the bank, whatever it is, even walking outside to my mailbox, people don't know I'm sick,
Mhm.
right? Unless they know me personally. You can't tell by the way someone looks. If you know me, it just like and let's be real. AJ, you've known me for what, 13 years? Maybe a little
Mm,
longer.
way longer than that.
Yeah. So you knew me before I fell ill. Okay, you've
Mhm.
seen me really in the midst. I was early 40s actually. Clubbing, dancing. If you remember what I looked like then, and of course I've aged, yes, of course it's been, let's say, 15 years, 18, whatever that is. But if you were to look at me now close up with no glasses on and everything, you would be able to tell, oh, CC, you know, I can tell you're suffering from something chronic. I do know about your MS, but I can look and tell. People's face tells a lot in their eyes.
Sometimes um I can tell, but also you got to understand there's a lot of people out here that as they're getting older, they're some people aren't aging well just because of life. I know a
Life,
bunch of people. Hey,
yes.
I know a bunch of people who they partied hard in their
Hmm.
teens, early teens, and early 20s, and really went hard. I'm talking every day
Yeah.
drinking, and their liver is paying
Hmm.
the price for it now.
Yeah, and
When you
that
said
shows
yeah,
the outside.
when you said have I ever experienced that? When I first got my concussion diagnosed, they prescribed me some medication, and that medication made me so loopy looking because
Mm.
I was out of it that one of my friends said, "Dude, you must be in a lot of pain. You look fucked up." Excuse the language. And I was like, "What you mean?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, you just don't look good. You look like, oh man, you look like you about to die." And I was like,
Man.
"What? Okay, well, whatever." And I waddled my butt right on out the door and went home, and then I had took a picture of myself that night, and looking back on it a year later, I'm like, wow, the medication can make you look a certain way, and people do um
Mhm. Assume.
look at you and assume things. I'm
Hmm.
guilty of it. I've seen people on the thing and jump on a scooter and roll around, and I look at them and go, "Man, now is the time you probably really want to walk
Mm.
because you're not getting any from your day to day." And I mean, there's two sides to every coin. Just like you said, some people are uh, medically uh,
Hmm.
challenged and having issues, but some people are just lazy and lived a lazy lifestyle and became obese, um, and lost their mobility. Some
Right.
people just lost their mobility because it's a genetic thing. We have a lot of people in the world who just,
Yeah.
even though they exercise, no matter what they do, they still lose their legs.
Yes, yes, yes. And
It's genetic.
unfortunately, you know. Yeah. So there's two sides of things, but in life, there's always, let's say, the right way and the wrong way. But there are certain things that you don't want to say to someone who has MS. Okay. And this also refers to and stems with um, people, at home that you're around every day, right? Because even though, and I'm not speaking at my in my home, because no one that I'm around would be that unconscious to say, "Oh, I think you just didn't get enough sleep." Stuff like that, where you got MS, we deal with severe fatigue, right? Warriors. Um, I used to have to go to bed after taking a shower. And I know a lot of my fellow warriors go through the same thing. It's very disheartening to know that just as part of a daily routine, it's turned our life into this MS has turned our life into such a big flip to where a shower, a 5-10 minute shower, you know, so there's things that we have to be mindful about. I wouldn't like someone saying to me who knows that I have MS that maybe you can wear a little more makeup to cover, the dark circles under your eyes that show, that you may not have got enough sleep. Things of that nature. Um, for me, that's one of my issues that I know for me. Other people don't see it until I point it out, but I see it because I know it's there and I feel my glasses hide it. But I have, since I've been stricken with MS, my eyes got really dark underneath. And I've never been a person big on makeup to wear a full face cover up, full face foundation. I've never been the one, never, you um, of course, the other makeup, I've never even been a big lipstick person, but cheek and highlight, brows, mascara, little eyeshadow, stuff like that. Um, so I, because of my liking and being going somewhere, want to have a little makeup on, um, just so I look a little bit more um out of the bedish, so to speak, and that's for my own liking. I don't do it to appease others, out and about, because I have nothing to prove to anyone, and I wouldn't care if I seen a woman dressed in her Sunday best and made all up. That would not make me take away from possibly what that woman could be suffering from chronically. You know, um, Makeup does hide things, but you never know what that person is feeling, so you can't take that, for granted. This one is a big one. And if you guys see me looking this, because I write everything down, because you guys already know, if you're a warrior like myself, I forget things easily. So I take notes all week, things just in my life period that I want to share with you guys on the podcast. I write them in my notebook every week. I send myself texts, so I don't forget to write them down in my book. Things pop up, and I may not be home. I'll send myself a text so I can read up, or it could be something that I'm experiencing health wise, and I want to do a read, or even for a family member, stuff like that. Um, because I forget. Um, the big one is you don't look sick. Me personally, because like I just shared with you guys, I had someone that kept saying every time they see me, "Oh, you look like you don't feel good. You look like you're sick." Well, now that I am chronically ill, um, you don't. I think that's just a thing anyway. You wouldn't see someone that you don't see on a regular basis. Certain people in my life, sure. I wouldn't take it this way if they told me, "Oh, you look like you don't feel too good." That's for those close people that are around me daily or know me that well to say, "Hey," especially know my story, to say, um, "You don't, you know, are you not feeling well?" Something like that. But to say, "You don't look sick." Not every disease, not every illness can you tell from the outside. Okay. If just by looking at my face now, you wouldn't know what I'm stricken with. You would not know I have a chronic disease, because some diseases are invisible. By telling someone, "Oh, you don't look sick," don't take away from what I go through, what I endure. That takes away from you actually not knowing, not knowing. That's the key thing, not knowing. Did you hear me, guys? Not knowing. That takes away from us, and it makes us feel like, and Jason, let me see. Jason says, "Get told that by my parents a lot. I haven't heard you don't look sick yet. You look wonderful." Thank you, friend. Um, you know, and not to sound mean, but Jason, if I got told that by whoever in my life, it wouldn't matter. I would like, too bad, but it's not, only if they could walk 12 hours in our shoes, right, Jason? Just to get that feel of, okay, this is still my face, this is still my body, but I don't feel like me anymore. You know what I mean? To take them out of their body and put them in mine, they'd be screaming to get the hell out, I tell you that. Right? So I I'd be a feel how would you guys feel? Would you, because now here's the two sides of the coin, right? Because they could say and mean that in a way of, "You look terrific. You don't look sick." But how much of your story do they know, or have you? Sorry, guys, I'm playing with my light because it keeps going dim. I think it's going to go out on me. My ring light. But someone with MS, and if you know they have MS, there's things that you shouldn't say. That's why education is key, because if someone is telling you, "I think you're being lazy, you need to get your ass up and, go dump the trash," or, "I think you're being a little lazy, why don't you get up and cook dinner?" That kind of stuff. Not near one time in 5.5 years has anybody ever told me that, because they know what I go through. Educating your family, your colleagues, your best friends, your loved ones, uh, everyone. Okay. Um, it's, it, you know, it's just one of those things that can make You don't know, we don't know how, by our words, how it affects that person, right? So sometimes it's more to be mindful just on GP than anything, because you don't know someone's story. You know what I mean? And for me, being having a chronic illness, um, I would have to think, okay, well, who are you to me? And then I can balance, detect, okay, did you come from a love warming place, a friendship place, or you don't know me at all and you weren't mindful just as being a human being. And now I have to educate you real quick on the 30 seconds that you're standing behind me in the grocery store. Um, those kind of things. We don't want to hear someone tell us you don't look sick. Okay. Because if you were educated on multiple sclerosis, you would know multiple sclerosis is what, guys? An invisible disease. Sure, some of us are wheelchair bound. Okay, so then you would be able to tell, this person has a chronic um, disease that prevents him or she from walking and having a normal life, right? So yes, then you have a person like me and Jason. Jason is up on his feet, works and doing living his best life. But would you tell him, "Oh, you don't look sick"? How would how would that make you feel? And like I said, of course, two sides of the coin. Do a stranger, yes, but anybody around us that knows that we have multiple sclerosis should be really mindful and know that us being tired is part of the disease. It's not laziness. It's not, I didn't get enough sleep. Any of those excuses why or reasons why somebody, would be tired, it doesn't, we don't fall in that category because this is chronic. Our fatigue is chronic, so if you are being kind of labeled, or and some people close to you, family members, significant others, may say things like that, um to push you, and if it's bothersome, you have to let them know that, hey, that kind of bothers me because I can't control my fatigue. I can't control the days that I can't get up and dump the trash, or I can't control the days that I can get up and cook. So we're stuck, kind of between a rock and a hard spot, but we still have feelings. And sometimes we want people to be reminded of themselves, knowing to be mindful to um, our issues, whether they're mobility issues or relationship issues. I am seeing, and I did a show on this in February, and I think that was my best show, Valentine's, because I had been seeing, and I still see recently, um about this kind of different. And actually I wanted to touch on that a little bit, and I think I'm gonna shift gears off this. This is because, let me read Jason real quick. I don't take it in a bad way. I know they come with the love, of course. Jason, our parents, don't want nothing but the best for us. They both have told me if they could take it and have it for me, they would. Yes, now that's loving parents. Exactly. He said, I've heard the lazy thing before, LOL. Makes me feel bad. I don't think they truly understand, though. No, and I'm sure for you, Jason, because I can only imagine, and I can kind of maybe see things, as I'm a female. So what? I can think or bet, and maybe just not for you and yours, but others, and this is kind of logically speaking, is if you see this man busting his hump and working 7 days a week, and he comes home and he mows the grass, and then, does that for a month straight, and then all of a sudden he's down, not doing nothing. I can see how maybe somebody would think, man, you were just here, there, everywhere. You were sweating, you did, but you got it done and you worked. You came home and chopped the wood and washed the cars and washed the dogs and you did all this stuff. And now, my gosh, I don't see you doing any of that. You got to be mindful that MS works like that. It'll give us a little, room to grow. Let's say, room to grow, even for me. But that's not going to be the case every day for weeks straight, right? Right now, I am suffering with my left side. My left leg, man, is in shambles, and my foot feels like I have broke something in my foot when I know I haven't. The bottom, and it's weird that I read these things, and I have read these things in over it's warriors, actually, their testimonies and stuff on other groups that I belong to and stuff, and talk to other warriors off the internet, off the pages of social media. And I've always thought to myself, and I still do, still right now, as I'm about to talk about this, I'm still blessed and I'm still lucky that I'm in the shape in this part of my life with multiple sclerosis, because other people have it worse. And I'm grateful for that. And I don't take that away from those other warriors who are bed bound, wheelchair bound, that suffer more extremes than I do. I don't take away from that. But I lost my train of thought by saying all that. I wanted to say something um, uh, about that, and it just went floop out the window. Thank you, MS. But anyway, um, so, and Jason says, made me feel ashamed, to be honest. And it seems that hard for people to get their head around. Thank you that you are tired. Yes, 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 and yes. Um, people remember us how we used to be too, and the things that we are able to do on those, I feel like, $1,000,000 days, but it's not going to be like that every day. Okay. Now my thought just came back to me about my foot and this side. So the this feeling's been coming on. It came on for a couple days. It was the burning sensation, and then it went to the bottom of my foot. My left side was achy. My pants hurt it. The blanket hurt it. Um, I couldn't have anything on it. I was getting the tingling sensation, like it was just asleep, and the bottom of my foot and the side just really started hurting. I couldn't walk, especially the first step in the morning getting off the bed. Oh my God. I would just like hang on. Yes, Jason. And I would hang on to my vanity is next to the bed, and I would limp all the way to get out of my bedroom. And it's still like that. But I noticed then I started getting tired, sleepy. I was taking naps. So during this week, I've been going through the nap thing. My leg's been hurting, my foot's been hurting, and it almost feels, that bone on the side of your foot, it's really thin and it's easy to tear it up. Like it's easy to mess that bone up. But I can't even put my foot like this on the ground because it's in so much pain that it feels like my bone right there, something is wrong. It's not swollen, it's not red, nothing, but I have this, like Jason says, hypersensitive, that stuff going on in this left leg, in my foot, and I'm getting shooting pains in my foot, the bottom of my foot, not right now, but the bottom of my foot felt like I was being burned. Yeah, like I have a burn there. Oh, and nothing, I'm barefoot right now, so I can look at my foot. I do have a swollen pocket that I've had for 5 years since I was diagnosed with MS, but that's not the part that's hurting. If I wear flip flops, anything that goes in between my toe, it irritates that puffiness up my foot, the swollen, and then it'll hurt right there where it's swollen. But and then bend my toes like this hurt so friggin' bad. I'm like, what the frick is this happening? I've never had my feet hurt with MS, except that little swollen pocket, and it doesn't bother me unless I bother it. Weird, huh? So I don't know. But I've been going through that actually now for over 2 weeks. Last week I didn't see you guys and I missed you guys. I was going through it then, and I was thinking, okay, in a couple days it'll get better. And then I started falling asleep in the daytime. Last During this week, I took 3 naps in one day. I said to myself, oh shit, don't tell me I'm in a flare. And what made it, I noticed it get a little worse is because um, we've been out car shopping. And the other day, we it was during this week, and I'm in Cali, so it's still toasty. It was over 90. We were at this car lot. We were out there for a while, and I wasn't already feeling my 100%. Like I said, I've been going through it with this leg now for 2 weeks in my foot. But I was like, we have to do this. We want to do it. Got to get it done. So being out in that heat and back and forth inside the office, and I didn't take my wheelchair or scooter. So, I had to walk in between the cars and this and that. We was out there for a while. That By the time we got home, and then it was long. By the time I got home, I felt sick as shit. I felt like sick as a dog. I did not feel good. Jason, you know what? For me, that is a new symptom. The leg I've always had some left side deficit, never what it's doing now. And the foot, oh my God. Yeah. The feeling, the shooting pains. I had shooting pains just shooting up to my little pinky toe. Not the pinky toe, right? But yeah, and to bend it, oh my God. Uh, when I sit in the car or sit on anything, a chair at home, put my foot sideways. Do you guys, when I try to lean, my foot sideways? Oh, and I'm trying to do that right now because I'm talking about it, thinking y'all can really see it. Pain, 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 pain. So yeah, I don't know what's going on, and I've been tired, and so I don't know um, what's going on with that, guys. So, and all I just keep thinking, and I keep praying that it lightens up and it goes away, because I don't want it to get any worse or develop any other symptoms, because you guys already know what that means. Flare, and then if it gets worse, then I'm going to go into the doctors, and then I'm going to have to do the steroid treatment, which I love it because that's what stops my flare. But I don't like the side effects. I don't like the way I feel on it. I don't like tasting metal every time I drink something. Water feels like nasty curdled milk. That steroids make your tongue, everything taste horrid, and makes everything feel the wetness of drinking the water. It makes it feel like it's thick. Ugh. And I don't want to be in the hospital 5 days, guys. I don't like their food. Right? That's all I think about is food. Like, seriously. And Larry tells me where were we going somewhere? Thinking about going somewhere, and I was like, oh yeah, because that restaurant is over there. Everything that I do, I have to have food around me. So I'm like, okay, on our way going it's not food shopping, car shopping. Oh, can you stop? There's a Sonic right around the corner from there. Every Before we go. Yeah, boy, I tell you. Um, I'm a foodie. What can I say, guys? Yeah. but everything I do, I have to make sure food is around and close by. Right now, I probably got maybe 2 meals in my purse that I leave home with. No, I used to, but I do have some food in my purse. So just in case when I'm out and about, um, me and I don't know. I'm gonna turn this light off real quick and put it in a different plug, because it's just doing weird stuff in my face. Um, there we go. But when I get hungry, slight hungry, I start to feel sick. So I panic if I don't have any food because then I start to feel not good. And then that just shits all over everything why I'm out supposed to be doing what I'm doing. So I make sure I eat before I go out anywhere, take water and that kind of stuff. Um so back to the enough about me and my leg. I have a little bit to share with you guys here in a minute on update about my dad. Um I've been getting well wishes from my warriors um about my dad and stuff, and I appreciate it greatly. As you guys know, I say strength comes in numbers. I'll share a little bit with you guys before I end the show tonight. But back to the things that you should not say to people with MS. And that's just like, you know, anybody I know that loves me has educated themselves. Stephanie, have you educated yourself on MS? Or even watching the show, watching, being part of my channel, um, just spreading awareness, talking to MSers and other groups. Of course, you know, you learn, and I share everything with everyone because everybody needs to understand, you know, um, who they're dealing with now. They're not dealing with the old me. They're dealing with the MS warrior now, um and everybody's always been on board to learn so they understand, what I go through. And that's just something that that's very vital, you know what I mean? And understanding, and it helps you when you run across someone else that you would know how to address them or have a conversation if you happen to be put in that seat about someone with MS. Okay. um
When I call, you're supposed to answer the phone.
that was you.
No, but you're
Oh,
supposed to have your phone on silent if we're having a
I,
podcast.
I thought I did, but you know what, I
Hey,
have my watch on, so
hey,
hey, it might have
hey,
been it may have been the president.
hey, we could have been in a serious train of thought, and you're gonna go ahead and mess it up like that. But I do have to say something. All you shit talking Sunday fans out there, y'all ain't got no love for AG the dad. Y'all ain't got no love for AG the dad. She's getting well wishes. What about my concussion? I'm feeling needy right now. I don't get no emails all in my inbox, uh, questions all in the show. Uh, come on over to death row. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely.
I need, I'm gonna need some.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna need some well wishes. You
Oh,
know.
look at that
Yeah,
little baby.
woo, woo. But anyway, get back to what you was talking about.
Oh,
Because every day is Shit Talking Sundays. If you haven't liked, share, subscribe, hit that notification button, then you need to get with it. The more people that show up on this, the bigger we're gonna grow, and the more people I'm gonna reach out to bring on the show. And you never know. You know what? If you ask about wanting to hear from someone, email me. I'll try to go out there and reach out to them and maybe try to pull them on the show if it's something that you want to learn about, that you feel like somebody has what it, you know,
Yeah.
some information to be thoughtful. There's my email. Hit me up. Um,
Yes, yes, yes.
good looking out, Jason. I feel you. I'm accepting the positive vibes. You already know, Steph, you got this one coming because you know who you dealing with, and it's AG the dad, and it's Shit Talking Sundays. The fact that you're sorry about my head, you know, you could help a brother out with. I'm just playing. I know you have a girl. I got a girl. It was just a joke. Please. Right now, I know there's probably a million people out there laughing. And if you're not, hey man, Shit Talk Sundays. I don't care if you do or don't. You're here.
Right. Hey,
You're here. You're listening.
they should know by now never to count you out.
Yes.
They should know that by now. I do.
Hey, always keep a positive attitude. Don't be afraid to joke sometimes. And sometimes if people can't take a joke, you know,
Yeah.
MFS them. You know, I'm changing MS to MF.
MFS.
I got multiple effing sclerosis. Biscuits. You know what I'm saying?
Biscuit.
You know,
I
don't
needed that
be,
laugh. I
hey,
needed that laugh. I
hey,
was so tired before starting the podcast, guys. Like I said, I haven't been feeling too good, and my neck today is like hurting. Oh, and then the frickin' spasms.
there she
Oh my
goes
god.
about the neck. See, because she's married and I like her husband. I told her that she should use neck exercises the next time she's in the room with her husband. And, you know, hey, bro, I'm trying to look out for you, man. Every opportunity I get. Head power.
This guy.
Anyway,
But that's why there's no kids allowed in here. You see, guys, the dirty minds of Shit Talking Sundays
hey,
platform,
man,
right?
I don't care who watches this. Sometimes you need to learn. Sometimes your parents ain't teaching you. Hey, look, it's worse in schools. They're teaching us in schools about how to identify. If I decide to identify as a stuffed animal, you got to address me as so. Get out of here, man. Look,
Crazy.
Sexual orientation within reason, maybe I can understand a little bit. But when you get way off left base, look, there's things that people need to be educated on, i.e., multiple sclerosis. Concussion is starting to become something that's becoming a lot more spoke about. You know, so everybody out there, you know, just like I was saying, don't be afraid to joke a little bit. Before we even started this podcast today, the MS Warrior said to me, I'm in a lot of pain. I don't think I'm going to do a whole long thing. It's probably going to be like 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. And I said, okay, cool, watch. And I let her do her thing until I feel that she's running out of steam. And then you know what I do? I come in and talk some shit because it's Shit Talking Sundays. And every day is Shit Talking Sunday. So please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button if you like what you hear and see. Hey, I ain't mad at you because, you know, we are lookers.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, guys, please, please. It's free to do so. Please subscribe. I can't reach any more warriors without your guys' help, and we're doing this together as a warrior community. When you help me, I help you, and we get in those ears of people who feel that they have no one to turn to, nowhere to turn to, but the MS community is ginormous. And between you and I, and just a quick flick of your finger to the subscribe button and to the share button, we can reach just many, many, many more people. Let me touch on this note real quick. And as it's behold, it's almost been an hour. Gee, I get on here and I don't think I could do an hour, guys, because the way I'm feeling. And then once I get to hitting on those things that I feel that's on my brain, I need to share and get across to people. It's just the time flies. Okay. So the last thing that you would never want to do, and I say this for someone that has a chronic illness, is to say, if they tell you, oh yeah, I have multiple sclerosis, well, at least you don't have cancer, at least you don't have this, at least you don't have that. That don't take away, don't make something else be that you think is so much bigger than multiple sclerosis, because until you walk and live in the day of someone who has multiple sclerosis, don't compare. And I'm saying that strictly because I'm one of those people. You cannot compare, you cannot put me up with any other disease comparable, because my sufferment is just as any other chronic illness. So be careful what how you address people. If you thinking, that goes back to say, you know I and I'm gonna keep it real right now. My father, yes, guys, um I've been sharing the journey so far with my dad. Is confirmed my dad has cancer, and actually has skin cancer as well. Okay, if you look at my father, he 82 years old, he doesn't use a cane, he doesn't wear glasses. He walks from the house to the car, into the hospital, into his doctor's appointment. I'm riding on the side of him sometimes because I can't walk it. So for this man to have lung cancer and skin cancer right now, what if you approached him, not approach, let's say they someone and him were in the hospital cafeteria, and my dad is sharing something with him, not the cancer or anything, but what if my dad says, yeah, I'm here to get my hip looked at, and the person says, well, gee, thank God you don't have cancer, not knowing he's suffering from cancer, and is, gonna have treatment, and just had my dad had a mole on his nose, and he had it all his life. I remember growing up as a young kid, and excuse me, up until now, but it got really big. And the doctor seen it the other day and said, hey, we better get that checked out. Well, it happens to be basal cell. Um, so they want to be, remove that. But my dad does have adenocarcinoma, adenon carcinoma. So, yes, it's confirmed, and we will be going for consultation in the very near future to discuss um, treatment options. We don't know just yet. This week, I'm supposed to get a phone call back from his lung specialist on and giving us um, the stage that it's in. It's metasized. Mat. Sorry, guys. Um, and the thing about that type is, when they use that word, that means it's already like kind of in a later stage. Status met. mm, Sorry, I mess that word up every time. Every time I try and say it, but um, all I know is we're gonna push forward strongly, and you know take on the best treatment that they have to offer for him. And all I'm asking for you guys to do is just to add a little prayer in there for him, okay, about his with his recovery. um and that all week, the week before, we are bombarded, as you guys could imagine, with appointments. I have put some of my appointments off because I just can't do all of them. You guys, you warriors know we don't have the energy like that. But I am going to get back to me next month, and and we could only hope for the best news that a family could ever want to deal with when you hear words such as cancer. Um, so back to the, well, at least it's not. Well, at least it's not. Some people, of course. Now, I think, just me, I think, like if one of my best friends would say, hey, I slam my finger in the car door and they, the ER saying it's broke, then I would maybe say, thank God it didn't sever your finger off, something like that. But be mindful when it comes to someone telling you that they're ill. Don't put their illness off to compare it to something else, because for someone getting the MS diagnosis, that affects people traumatically, so we never want to discredit someone in talking when it comes to someone's health, because we never know what that person is suffering from or what they've been through, so I'm sure with other chronic illnesses, there's maybe a language that you don't speak about, just like I wouldn't tell my father, well, if you didn't smoke, you wouldn't have cancer. I would never let those words come out of my mouth, so I think it's just a matter of us being aware, being conscious about speaking to others, because you just don't know, what someone is going through, period, or and on lingo to speak to someone, you know, with an illness. I would never say, well, hey, my warrior buddy is always running around and maybe he's not sick after all. No, you know. And Jason, you're right. I know someone who actually died of emphysema and never smoked a day in their life, not even weed, So um it's real. Each one of our lives are real. I would never take away from the fact that my friend has diabetes, and I would compare it, on to something else with their lifestyle, as I don't want no one to compare mine to something else, because everyone is different. I may not suffer the way Jason suffers. Josh, where are you, man? Where are you? Josh, did you notice Josh has been missing in action? We're gonna have to send an ABB how. Um, so it's just remember to be mindful. And for me, guys, I'm learning this too. It's not just I'm talking this. This is for me too, because I now get it, being sick. The MS has taught me a lot, not just about um, disease because I'm living it, but it's taught me a lot about um, being mindful, being considerate. Don't judge a book by its cover, because you don't know their story. People don't know my story, and I've only had one incident that was actually said to me, and I shared with you guys about the young guy in the produce section. So with that note, guys, I am going to wrap it up, and I would like for you warriors to reach out, get on board with me, and share your journey with us, spread awareness. You're more than welcome. It's a simple click link video. Jason, I'm waiting on you, buddy. You've been following me, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You have been day one with us, and I appreciate talking to you. I hope you and your family are in the best of spirits and everything is working really, really good for you, and you are symptom free. You're still up on your feet doing your thing. Sending you all those warrior vibes. But we welcome anyone who would like to come and be on the show and share your journey, um, you know, and let's get this awareness going. There's going to be a lot more people home nowadays. We're coming into some winter weather. It's just more and more people sitting home, chilling by the fireplace. Get on your laptop or whatever it is. Jump on to Shit Talking Sundays and get in on some conversation and spread the awareness with us. Don't be afraid. We're all out here. You don't have to tell us everything like I do, but just spread the awareness. Let's share, compare, and support. That's what it's all about. And don't forget, always, and it's free to do so, guys, subscribe, like, hit that button, and you could always comment. If you happen to miss the live podcast, you can comment, visit us anytime. It still comes directly to us, and we could comment, have that chit chat, and so forth and so on. Until next Tuesday, you guys, please, please, please take care of yourself, because if you don't, who will? Your girl's sending you all the good warrior vibes possible. Thank you tonight, you guys, for tuning in. I missed you last week, and I'll see you back here Tuesday, 6 p.m.
Right on, right on. Hey, everybody. Yes, thanks, Jason. We appreciate sharing our journeys. Her more so than me. I don't enjoy sharing it. It's something I do because I wish I didn't have to share it, but the Most High works in mysterious ways, and maybe that's one of his ways to make sure I share it with everyone. Concussion, man, still to this day, I'm still have symptoms, and I will tell you that I have a whole different respect for it. Until you experience it, you will never understand it. And I pray that the Most High does not give you that feeling, because it is definitely a scary feeling. Steph, good night. Thanks. Appreciate you. Make sure you practice what you preach, with your hubby. So I just had to throw that out there. Just some Shit Talking Sunday humor. And everybody else out there in the world, if you want a personal one-on-one chit chat, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, and you too can have your personal hey, what's up from AG2. So without wasting anybody else's time, if you need life insurance, because it's all about protecting your legacy, in the description link, AG Life. That's a company that I started because I know the importance of losing a loved one, and when you don't have the funds to take care of that, then sometimes it could turn out very costly and put you in grave debt. So hit that aglifeagency.com, and I got you. Either me or somebody else affiliated with the agency will give you a free quote and help you out with making sure that your legacy can carry on without you. All right, everybody, love one, teach one, educate everybody. I'm out till next week. And also, one last thing, side note, on the school stuff, if you tune in on Mondays, 9 a.m., Sensible Sherry, she will give you everything that you need to know about that. You can ask your questions. She will definitely help you find an answer. Also, tomorrow, Wednesday, Fitness Tip of the Week with Vince the Beast. All right, 6:30. Be there, be square. I'm out. Peace. AG the Dad.
Sunday morning drama is calling up my mama. Drama.